Hey, how you doing? This is Dan Lamb Pro, and this is pretty much a bonus tutorial. So we normally do 100 videos in 100 days. We're just killing some time after I didn't watch me a couple of basketball games. Not really doing anything right now, so I figured I'd make me a quick tutorial because I had a problem with my Boya mic, and it's pretty simple. So I want to make sure those of you that use Boya mic, whether you're using it with your vlogging kit or your iPhone, or you're using it with an interface, or in my case, an ATEM sometimes, you want to make sure you pay close attention to the battery in these Boyas because sometimes it'll go out. They're only good for like 700 hours or something like that. And you want to make sure that you change that battery and make sure that it's not going to be a problem in the middle of your broadcast. Even though I use different mics, like you see me using the mic here, which is a Scarlett, but I love these lavaliers. They're hardwired, and you can use them for a lot of simple stuff, especially when you're vlogging or, like I say, iPhones. Or you can use a wireless mic. But we're going over the Boya lavalier mic, and that's our tutorial for the day. Hey, I'm Dan Lamb Pro, youtube.com, Webmaster Dan or Dan Lamb Pro. Make sure you hit that subscribe and that like button. Let's get started. Okay, so here we are with our Boya microphone. Let me first establish the fact that I'm not a representative of Boya. I'm just showing you how I use Boya and some of the problems that I had with Boya, which are very minimal. I use it with a vlogging kit, sometimes with the iPhone. I also use it with a Scarlett interface. I also use it with a Blackmagic ATEM. First, we're going to go over what these two parts that you're looking at are. Now, this is the part or the microphone with the wind filter on it and a clip. The clip normally goes on the lapel of a collar or your talent. And always be mindful of your talent. Make sure you get permission before you wire someone up, because usually you have to run this wire under the jacket or under the shirt or under some garment or through the back of a person's person in order to get it concealed to where it's just exposed on the collar or wherever you're placing it on the talent. But always be mindful. Ask the person if they mind if you put it on, or show them how to put it on themselves. Now, be mindful also of this wind filter, because when you're running it through the talent or the talent is placing it on, it's very easy to knock that off, which has a lot to do much like a pop filter. You want to make sure your P's and your T's and your S's on your talent is not coming off too strong. But anyway, the part I want you to focus on now, this part usually clips on the talent, like put it in their back pocket, clip it on the side or something like that, so it won't be a problem if they're moving around in the restriction area of the length of the wire. Now, the problem that I had with it was inside of here, which I'm going to show you, is a battery. And this battery has a lifetime expectancy as far as the hours that it lasts. So I think it's something like 70 hours or 700 hours, one of those two. Go check with Boya and find out exactly what the expectancy of this battery is. I know it's a LL44, so you want to make sure, or the life of that battery. And you can cross-reference that battery at some of your local convenience stores when you pick it up, much like you pick up any other battery, but you want to make sure it's that LL44. But anyway, check this battery before you start checking your equipment and thinking your settings is off and changing your software and some of the things that I wind up doing. Hey, it's a pretty simple thing. Now, the other thing I'm going to cover on the Boya before we go is that if you're using it, say, as a vlogging kit, it's a button here that says, right here, that says iPhone or smartphone. And it also says off. So when you're not using it, say when I'm not using it with my ATEM or I'm not using it with my interface, I want to make sure that button is off, which can extend the length of my battery. I also know that you can use this with a smartphone without having a battery in it. And you can go in your settings in your smartphones and look up some of the information on that on a tutorial from, say, Apple and other places as far as the settings on the smartphone and how they might work with a Boya. You can also find that information out at Boya, which is also give you some indication of what you can do with this microphone. But I use it in both capacities, and then you always want to make sure, like I said, when you're using it in a capacity with a camera, make sure that this setting is set on camera. If you're using it with a, say, a Blackmagic ATEM, or you're using it with an interface, make sure that's set on camera. When you're using it with an iPhone, you can click that button down to off and smartphone, and it'll work just fine. So that's pretty much it. That's a Boya wired lapel microphone. It's pretty simple. I think everyone should have one in their media toolbox, especially if you're going out on location shooting quick little interviews or something. You'll find the Boya is very handy and very mobile and easy to work with. All right, till next time. Okay, there you have it. Boya microphone, how to change the battery in a Boya. And that is probably one of the most simplest things to look out for when you're using a Boya, as well as we showed you the switch on here, which you got a setting for cameras, and then you got a setting for your smartphone. So you want to make sure that you have those settings in the right position depending on how you're using your Boya. Hey, I'm Dan Pro, 100 videos in 100 days. Make sure you go over to youtube.com, Webmaster Dan. Hit that subscribe and that like button. Till our next episode, hey, peace.